Alexis. I am Executive Vice President at ALLEGORITHMIC. Substance has actually become the standard in the industry when it comes to material authoring and what we call PBR texturing. PBR stands for physically based rendering, which is actually the technique, the shading technique that has become the standard in the last 5 years. And actually Substance is really something that has spread like a wildfire since the advent of PBR in the industry, especially in games and film, but also in product design, architecture, and anything actually that needs high-end 3D. So the whole concept of Substance is actually make texturing fun again, I would say. For years, people have been using old techniques to create their textures. Most of the time it was extremely manual. It was a process that could take a long time because most of the tools were not dedicated to the task. And with Substance, we really wanted to create a software that would be dedicated to texturing from scratch and natively support physically based rendering. There is today a fairly massive community, more than 50,000 active users that are creating extraordinary materials with Substance Designer, sometimes photorealistic, sometimes very stylized, sometimes just materials that don't exist for sci-fi environment or just stuff that are purely creative. We've seen in the last few years very interesting moves. Typically, the high-end 3D techniques were once reserved to, I would say, feature film, feature animation, or AAA games. Now times have changed, meaning that even small companies, small studios, they want to actually create art that is as good as what you can see at the movie. And not only for games and film, it's also about architectural rendering, product design, automotive, medical simulation. So not only the visual fidelity is converging, but also the techniques that people have to use are converging as well. And this is where art schools are actually extremely important, because the people that are trained, that are being taught in art school will actually be feeding every industry. Of course, it's extremely inspirational to target film companies or game companies, but we see today many other firms, and actually in a much broader market, people needing people with skills in 3D, in real-time rendering, in offline rendering, because this is how you actually increase productivity. We're pretty much transitioning from an analog world to a digital world. Everything needs to be created digitally. And if you think about the future, such as AR, everything will need to be digital. So we're talking about a brand new internet. We're talking about having every object in real life having its digital version. And we're gonna need so many artists to be able to produce this object. And we are really working towards fulfilling the needs of tools that are productive enough to transform everything in digital. So at ALLEGORITHMIC, we've been investing a lot in schools and education in the last 3 years. So many people are actually looking for Substance users, Substance power users. We actually hear now most of the time that Substance is a tool of the kids, meaning that this is the next generation. And all these people that are coming on the market, we're about 50,000 new students every year that are finishing school, going on the market. It's actually so important that we make sure they know about Substance, they know how to use it, and it's such a relief for the employers to know that they're going to find people that can use our tool. That is a huge differentiator as well. Meaning being able to employ someone who already knows how to use the tool set, it's a huge time saver. And they know they're going to be able to leverage their skills and potentially train other people. Recently, we decided to invest all the schools in New Zealand Of course, there is Weta Digital in New Zealand, which is one of the most amazing place to create VFX. Typically, what we would like to do in the future is organize training sessions, workshops, maybe even a substance day in these regions, because we believe being close to the community is extremely important. So we are looking forward to seeing what the students at NMIT will come up with. It's a great pleasure to see them using Substance. We're really super excited to work with NMIT, and hopefully we can visit New Zealand sometime, because you know what, this is pretty much the most amazing places in the world.